Hey everybody, Whispers here. So we are now on Saturday, and we wanted to just take some time to recap sort of how everything went yesterday.
Yep.
We came in, we showed up around like 11:30 or something like that yesterday.
Yeah, something
We got
like
set
this.
up. We walked around. Phil bought a guitar like we talked about.
Yep.
I bought stuff. We got like 3 beers the second we walked in. And the next thing you know, we go to record the intro. And the fucking SD cards, dude. So I bought 128 SD cards.
Well, you bought two. You bought two.
I bought 2 of them. Thinking, you know what? That's gonna work. That's gonna work, right? And sure as fucking shit, my dumbass never even thought to look at, because we only have the 5H Zoom, the handhelds. So my dumbass decided, all right, well, it should be fine. Not even thinking that there's going to be compatibility issues. Well, the fucking things didn't work.
Yeah.
So I missed Voices in Vain. Play their set because I had to run to Walmart to go get SD cards.
Yeah, so like I watched Voices in Vain. If you listen to this podcast, well, we did an interview with Voices in Vain. Unfortunately, Evan didn't hear them or watch them, unfortunately. But Voices in Vain is good. All the bands that were here are fucking good.
Yeah, we talked to Lucas from Voices in Vain, and they're like a 10-year strong band, met in college. Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Also from Burlington, Vermont, which is like between Massachusetts.
He lives in Connecticut.
He's from Connecticut.
He's from Connecticut.
But the band is from Burlington.
Yeah.
The band is from Burlington. He's from Connecticut. But still, the band is from Burlington, which is between Quebec and Massachusetts.
Yeah, like that's kind of the deal when you start bands in college. Typically everybody's not from the same area. And then you gotta,
no, for sure.
But I mean, you talk about like what happened during the days of COVID.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden things were just like blown up, and then over the Zoom band practices became a thing. Yeah. Sending audio back and forth. More people had to do it because you still had to put out music. You still had to be relevant.
Exactly.
There's still albums and deadlines and stuff that have to be hit.
Yep.
So, I mean, that was interesting. I got to tell you that my favorite of the day yesterday was King from Deceased.
Yeah, King from Deceased is so good. It was so good to see him on stage, and also talking to him. Like, we heard the guy is the motor oil guy. Like, if you listen to some old episode of VOX&HOPS with Dave Whitty,
Nuclear Assault. Dave Whitty. I think Dave talks about it. Yep. I can't remember who it was, but yeah, he drank a quart of motor oil.
Yeah,
pretty fucked up.
And honestly, he seems fine.
40 years strong. King's the fucking man. Yeah. So good. Such a nice guy. Really? Genuine dude. Like, he's just been around for so long. He was talking about, if you listen to the interview, he talks about all the really cool places that he's been to, all of the bands that he's toured with, and they're still a touring act and they're going strong, and they just came out with a new album yesterday. So, Children of the Morgue.
Yeah.
So you guys should definitely check that out. I mean, even not only that, but we talked to a lot of vendors, Analog Assault, Brendan, and his buddy Tim. Just bringing out really cool vinyls, cassettes, DVDs, anything horror, metal, punk, rock, anything related to those such things.
Yes.
Which was also awesome. Freaks Attic with Corey.
Yeah.
I bought a couple figurines from him, and that was dope.
Yeah,
he's a cool guy.
Yeah, he's a very cool guy. I bought the new mascot of the podcast, which is Bloody the Bat.
Yeah.
Thanks, Corey.
So today on Saturday, we're going to be looking at Maidenhead starts at 12, Street Trash at 12:30. Yeah. Those are going to be the two. It's a pretty packed day, so it's going to be cool. Looking forward to talking to some more people. We're set up outside the wrestling tent. Wrestling's at like 10 p.m. tonight. They're doing a big kaiju battle.
Yeah.
So that'll be dope. I don't know if I'll watch it, but we'll see. Maybe we'll talk to a wrestler or two. Who knows?
That could be fun.
We'll have to figure it out. But,
So that was the little recap from Friday, and let's continue the podcast, shall we?
Yep, that's Friday recap, baby. We'll catch you guys. Keep listening. Hope you enjoy.
Yeah.
We're continuing our vendor interviews today. We have Travis from T.R.A.V.
Yup.
How's it
Travis
going?
Ranch Artistic Vision, a.k.a. Trevor Ranch.
Is this your first time at RPM Fest?
Second time.
Were you also a vendor?
I was a vendor last year. Yeah, it's very chill. And so it's a very, this is the second time I've gone to a festival by myself and set up. The first time I was a little intimidated because I was like, oh, there's a bunch of metal shit. I'm coming here by myself. Everyone's been very friendly, and it's been very easy peasy. It's been it's like an adult like summer camp.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
You know what I mean?
It is.
Yeah.
It is an adult summer camp because, like, we are here 3 days.
3 days.
And, like, it's like a full community. There's, like, breakfast.
Yeah.
There's, like, food everywhere.
Yeah.
Drinking everywhere. Like, we don't have to go outside. We just, like, stay here.
Yeah, you don't have to move too far. And right now the weather is like overcast, but it's nice. We're at this like Rod and Gun Club.
Yeah.
Where it's very well manicured property, and it's not too hot right now.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
there's just 2 stages. They do sound check on one stage while the other band's playing. So you just have these 2 stages. It's just a really good flow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm looking over at your art that you got over there because Trav's set up. We're set up like right across from each other. Dude, that's unique stuff. You painting right on records? Is that?
I get some upcycled vinyls. Yeah, and anybody who's a painter out there, it's a really good source of having something to paint on. A lot of record stores, they got a lot of like Christmas or overprinted vinyls, and they have a lot of free boxes. Mm-hmm. So, it's actually a really nice material to paint on, and you can get them for free. And,
Nice.
it's a little something I do, like, every once in a while,
Yeah.
Try to make some affordable art that's also quality that people will appreciate. And what's great about painting vinyls is you can just put the thumbtack right in the middle, and it just hangs up on your wall,
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
no matter where you put it,
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I have no idea. It could be on the back of it. Could be like Frank Sinatra. It could be, I have no idea what most of these vinyls say on the back of them. Sometimes it lines up with the theme of what I painted on it. It's like, some random thing,
Yeah.
So, like, one time you could be like, oh, I will print something, like, very gory and torture and whatever.
Yeah.
And you turn the vinyl and it's like, oh, it's a Bee Gees album.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've been doing something that looks sort of like a zombie mob. I don't know, man. I do all kinds of stuff. It's just whatever inspires in the moment. But that's what I love about RPM Fest is that you can paint weird stuff and people will like it. And, some other festivals, like, some, I don't know, man. I'm a misfit no matter where I go. I like to paint weird stuff, monster stuff, like crazy faces and stuff. And I feel like I fit in here,
Yeah, you fit.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
fit absolutely. Like you said earlier, I'm not sure, like, there's metal everywhere. Like, are you more a punk guy?
I like
yourself?
punk music more.
Yeah.
But I also like, I don't know, I like a lot of different, I like electronic music that's like kind of grimier, but I also like punk music too. But yeah, no matter where I am, I'm always sort of not fully I like hip hop stuff too.
Yeah.
But I like what I like, and I'm picky about it. But
sure.
I just like, I've noticed that I like weirder stuff, like more experimental music.
Yeah.
Like whether it's
Ooh,
like,
I got a band for you.
yeah,
Have you ever heard of the band Frog Lord?
no,
Oh,
Frog Lord.
I
Shouts
recommend
out
it.
Frog Lord.
yeah.
All right,
The
I'm into it.
Mystic Toad.
All right.
That record's fucking fun.
That record is fucking intense.
It's very
cool.
It's very
I'm
grimy,
super down.
slimy. But the vocalist is funny. He's got like this crazy frog mask that he plays with.
So I
And
got
then
a
all his
question
other-
for you guys. Are you more of a frog or more of a toad?
Oh, see, I would have to say Toad.
What
You're
is
toad.
I'm more
okay?
Toad.
So what is the difference between?
So I think, trust me, I'm not an animal expert or anything. I feel like toads can live in the forest and they don't swim. They do better in the forest.
They don't got the web
They have
fingies.
more like a forest like camouflage to them, but
and
frogs can swim. I think maybe toads. Some frogs can get like completely frozen, I believe, and like hibernate through a whole winter period.
There's
Okay.
a frog.
okay, I'm a frog.
maybe
There's
both
a
of
frog
them
that
do
will
that.
actually.
I'm a frog
freeze.
because I'm a frog.
Well, toads are brutal. So actually, Trav, you're perfect because I feel like you'll give us a really detailed opinion. But this is the
let's
age-old
go.
classic. Is hot dog a sandwich?
Okay, yes, the dichotomy. I feel like that's like, so art in general doesn't have a definition. So we're getting into territory where it's like, what is art? Like, what is a sandwich? These things by definition don't have a specific like, I would say a hot dog is a sandwich, but it can also be a car. Because you've seen the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. So a hot dog can be also like a.
We're opening up avenues for this argument.
Is
Dude,
it a sandwich where you should be more worried about how you get to your destination because you might be riding there by a hot dog, my friend.
I
love it.
I think hot dog is everything.
Yeah, it's also a sort of like disappointing Limp Bizkit album, like a hot dog, weird 9 Inch Nails diss track. It's both a good song and a bad song at the same time. So things can be good and bad. They can be a sandwich and not a sandwich.
Absolutely.
They can be both. They can be art and a car.
Yeah.
And these things we don't. I think the most important thing is do you enjoy it? Or is it interesting to you?
Yeah.
I think that's the most important question.
I like to think it's a sub.
For me, and like
I think we way too.
I'll have one of
hard
your
about it. I think
submarine
it's a
hot
sub.
dog sandwiches, please.
you know what I think. I
Fuck,
think
that's a lot of.
I think a hot dog is just a dog.
Yeah. I picture
Just dog.
when you
A
say it's a
sexy
sub,
dog.
I picture a really oversized hot dog
A hot dog
that
is
I'm
a
like
sexy
not
dog.
ready to handle. Like
Fucking really
that's
big.
too much. Yeah, but I would like to see that on that. Like,
Oh, I got sauerkraut on your hot dog.
oh, dude, I'm a
Hell
proud
yeah.
guy.
Hell yeah.
I got that Scandinavian blood in me, where all these fermented foods. I'm like, well, also it's
Anything pickled.
but like kimchi, that's Japanese. You know what I'm saying? The pickled stuff, dude.
Yeah,
it's the shit. You gotta get your gut biome in check.
Okay, so
Everyone's-
I
I
have
love
a
it.
question,
Plus,
and
it's
we.
just delicious.
So I
Yeah.
have a question, and like, I'm Canadian from Quebec, and our food is poutine. You know
Yeah.
poutine a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's from
We're in Maine,
Massachusetts.
we're basically,
East
I'm in Maine.
Massachusetts.
It's basically Canada.
Yeah,
you know?
East Massachusetts. Clam chowder is like the best thing.
Oh,
Chowder.
yeah.
What is your favorite between clam chowder and poutine?
Okay, so there's this fucked up thing where there's New York clam chowder, which is like tomato based.
Yeah,
And
it's
I was
gay.
like, yo, fuck,
What?
what the fuck is... I bought it by mistake one time when I was on the West Coast. Like, yo, this will bring me back my roots, New England clam chowder. And then I bought, like, the wrong chowder. And it was, like, tomato-based.
Yeah, I know they do. They do like a tomato. It's weird. It's lighter.
Yeah.
What
Where
the
like
fuck?
because the other one's milk based, and so
yeah,
it's like very
it's
heavy.
Like cream
Yeah.
and
Which I
bacon
love.
fat and
That's the
stuff.
whole
Yeah,
point of
that's
it.
the
Yeah,
one.
that
But
one
then
is good.
the tomato one is good, but if you're expecting the other one, you're like, what the fuck? It's like a bad surprise.
I find it doesn't fill me up as much.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
In a nice cold,
Yeah.
October day.
But also,
Now
right
we're on the
now,
boat.
it'd be like gazpacho type
Yeah.
chowder deal. So I forget the original question, but New England-based food. Okay, so you want to know some fucked up New England-based food? The Italian sandwich.
Ooh.
It's the Italian sub. It's like not. It's. I didn't realize until I left New England that the Italian is a main thing, and there's this shouts out to Instagram shitty Maine Italian subs or something.
Yeah.
So you go to like a gas station and it's like a Wonder Bread roll, and then they just throw like fucked up cold cuts and sliced vegetables on it, and they call it an Italian. But like varying degrees of being shitty. Yeah, I didn't realize that was a localized thing until I left, and I was like, in Italian, and they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, that's a weird one.
What do you call it otherwise? If it's not a
Dude,
Italian?
I don't know.
Right.
Like a fucked up sandwich.
What are these heathens doing out there?
Yeah, no, it's whack. Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you ever ordered a Maine Italian?
So how do you feel about fluff?
That's
a New England
okay,
staple, dude.
yeah, okay, let's go there. Like, so that is like no nutritional value, but like, I do have like deep nostalgic feelings about the way that it feels on your teeth. It's like smooth, but it's. I mean, you probably shouldn't be eating that
credible.
shit. It's dirty, but like. When I was a kid, I was like, plan your meal so I was in Boy Scouts, and I was like, you have to plan your meal. And so I got Reese's, peanut butter, and fluff, thinking that was like a reasonable thing to eat when you're like, this is lunch.
Very, very healthy.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Yeah, I don't know. It's nice. I would say, okay, what I've got to say, give props to Fluff about is if you're going to have a hot chocolate, Fluff is nicer to have in your hot chocolate than marshmallows.
Really?
I would say.
You take a big scoop, throw it in there?
Yeah. When I was
I've never tried this.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see. I wish I could Jamie, can you pull that up? The owner of Fluff.
We don't have it, Jamie. Unfortunately, the
Jamie,
budget's not quite there yet.
Maybe it's where you drop it up.
Yeah, no. Show us the video.
I wonder what the mega corporation of Fluff owner looks like. You can't be doing that.
He's got to look like the jar, right?
Yo.
Yeah.
Wow. He's just a jar. It's some weird
Kentucky Fried Chicken. The guy looks
there's
exactly
no
what you
owner.
would expect him to look like. The curve.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know?
What does he look like?
Even Papa John. You remember Papa John's when he
Yo,
was all sweaty and
yeah,
red-faced?
Yeah, we all
Yeah, anyone who owns a pizza joint, that's what I expect him to look like.
Shouts out Papa John, dude.
Shout out
Papa
Shaq.
John's, we like him. The so good, Papa John.
Dude.
Oh my gosh. Hey, what do you?
No, I was thinking about him earlier because he was like, pizza's actually a very healthy.
Yeah, if you,
we're like
you can
going
really
meta
do it up.
podcast where it's like okay, and I'm going H3 podcast on your podcast, but like the Papa John saga where he was like he went on there and he was like, yo, it's got all the major food groups covered. Pizza can be very healthy, and I ate Sbarro earlier and I was like, he's wrong. This is not healthy.
No, it's just grease.
Not good. Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, I don't know. So I did look up earlier. If you had to eat like one or two foods, what would be the most healthy? And so like potatoes and eggs and
potatoes, huh?
Yeah.
A lot of starches.
Yeah, potatoes
Eggs.
have a lot of stuff that you can eat.
Eggs across the board are good, right? You know.
Yeah.
Hey, who are you looking forward to seeing today? You gonna see any of
I
these
don't
bands
know.
play?
Bonginator? Shouts out Bonginator, because last night I did not expect to see that, and I was like, this was so...
Was it throwing the toilet paper? That was like, oh my god.
No,
because
toilet
Belushi
paper, I
Speedball,
was actually
dude.
concerned. I was like, oh, somebody's got to pick this up. I don't know. I was like, this is going to look shitty if no one like picks it up, but I think it was the fact that they said this next song's about RoboCop, and they started playing some synthwave shit, and then just slammed you with the fucking death metal riffs. I mean,
they
That
do.
was a vibe, dude. I don't know how to describe that, but it made me cry like tears of joy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Belushi Speedball was
Yeah.
exactly what I would hope they would be.
Exactly.
Dude, the kids' playhouse.
The Playhouse thing, I was like, okay.
We were crowd surfing a kids' playhouse.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Where was that?
That was fucking.
a little bit
That was right
after
before
Bunganator.
Josta over at the 4 Phantom stage.
Yeah.
So Belushi Speedball brought out they had a pool.
Yeah.
They had a pool. They had it's like a kid's outdoor kitchen. And they brought that out. They were spraying people with LaCroix. It's like, dude, what the hell?
LaCroix boys. Shouts out LaCroix boys. Yeah, when I was
man.
not drinking, I did this thing where I didn't drink alcohol, but I did other drugs. And so I was shotgunning LaCroix, like,
Wow.
to try to, I don't know.
Where does
Shotgun.
LaCroix end up on the health scale?
I don't know. I feel like they put weird shit in there, like pine tar resin, and I don't know how they make their flavors.
Jesus.
No, I'm talking about. I don't know what they make. Like, it's like there's no juice in this, but it smells. You seen the LaCroix memes where it's like someone ate fruit salad in the other room and burped, and then you drank a.
Drink it?
Yeah, or someone when you're drinking bubbly water and someone screams the name. Out. Yeah, I don't know.
That's awesome.
LaCroix memes. Now, dude, it's all about the spin drifts. Like,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But yeah, LaCroix's like a little weird. You know what the worst like LaCroix flavor is the coconut one. It's like you're drinking a bubbly water and somebody drops like suntan lotion.
I saw Polar Seltzer does a coconut
the
one too.
coconut
Yeah, I've never
one's
had it. So
not great. I don't know.
yeah.
But if you like it, that's good. But I would have to say least favorite LaCroix flavor, coconut. But maybe
maybe.
we need to make like a whole like jumpsuit of coconut LaCroix though.
Yeah,
like,
we
that
should.
would look fly.
Someone was wearing the fucking they were wearing the box as a helmet.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Oh,
yesterday.
okay,
That was funny.
okay.
I was like, oh my
Yeah.
god, he's a knight.
Yo, LaCroix boys.
Sir LaCroix.
Yeah.
Sir LaCroix.
Well,
Perfect.
Travis, thanks for taking the time to talk to us.
All
We're going to
right.
get back to your booth.
Shuts
a lot of people
out.
have been walking by, checking out your shit. It's really cool. So, yeah,
Thank you,
hey, guys, check out T.R.A.V.
Travis
Toronto.
Renta Artistic Vision on Instagram. It's a lot to spell out, but if you just type Travis.Renta, like Santa, but with an R, you'll find it.
Perfect.
And
Hell yeah.
thank you guys. Thanks for having me chilling. I almost forgot we were on mic. I felt like we were just hanging out over here.
Well, we could keep hanging out. We'll hang out off record.
We'll hang
Yeah.
out.
There you go.
Perfect.
Awesome.
All right. Big
Thanks,
ups,
Trav.
guys.
All right, guys. Hey, we're going to continue our vendor interviews here, and we have Arsenia with Arsenia's Arts here. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Doing pretty good,
Nice, cool morning. Can't complain.
I know, some overcast.
Yep.
Save it from yesterday. Yesterday was like hot and then cold, hot and then
Yeah.
cold.
Yeah. I mean, today's going to be like the highest is like 79 today, but it's going to be cloudy all day, so it's not going to be a brutal 79.
I know. That'll be good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
That'll be
very
good.
excited for
Our
that. My
medical
yarn will be
staff
very
won't
happy.
have to give people water transfusions.
Yeah.
Because people.
Yeah. Listen, I've had to have a couple of those in my time, and they're not too fun.
So, Arsenia's Arts. I see you got a lot of crochet stuff here.
Yes.
Is that mainly what you do?
So it's basically all that I do. My entire business is surrounded by combining crochet and music worlds kind of into one. I started the business by going to all of like my favorite artists' concerts. And last year wasn't so much wearing my clothes to the concerts. And then in January of this year, I started like wearing my clothes that I made to concerts more, and then ended up going from just kind of low key to traveling kind of everywhere. I traveled to Colorado, Indiana, Atlanta, Canada, all these different places, saw a bunch of my favorite artists, did meet and greets, gave some of my favorite people like stuff for free and whatever. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute, I can actually like full-fledged turn this into a business.
That's awesome.
I was like, people actually love my stuff. They want to follow me on Instagram. Why not turn it into a business and make money and get to go to concerts and festivals and basically get paid
Yeah.
to do what I
That's
love.
fun.
And I literally just get to sit here, crochet all day. The main stage is right there.
Oh, yeah.
And I literally I have the friggin' the wrestling tent right behind me.
Wow.
Oh, you going to go tonight?
Well, my booth is right there.
So you're just gonna
I'm,
watch?
Like, there's nobody going to be blocking me, so I can literally just sit in my booth.
Yeah, the big
and
kaiju
watch it.
battle is tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be sick.
I'm
Yeah.
excited for that.
I want to see how. I hope they dress up.
No, me too.
That
Me
would be-
too.
that
No,
would be worth it.
legitimately. Like, I want to see the whole full-fledged thing going on.
Yeah.
Like,
Someone.
And now we need a wrestler that have your stuff on.
oh my gosh, that
did
would be
you ever think about making a wrestling outfit?
epic. I haven't, but that might have to be something that I have to add to my repertoire now. My goal right now is to get a drag queen.
Oh yeah.
So they did the burlesque show
They
last night.
did the burlesque show last night.
Did you talk to any of them about maybe possibly giving a sponsorship?
Like half-assed asleep by the time the burlesque show came. I mean, I had been awake since like 5 o'clock in the morning yesterday, and I had to drive from Methuen to Boston. And then Boston out here.
Oh, yeah.
And then, do the whole tent setup, sit in the heat all day because, it's just me, myself, and I doing this stuff. So,
oh, wow.
Quick little bathroom breaks. Thank God for the staff porta potty literally right there.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Saving grace because I could not run all the way across the field.
Is this your first time at RPM Fest?
It is. This is actually my first camp out fest.
Really?
Ever.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think so far?
I mean, I love it so far. I actually am literally sleeping in my merchandise tent.
Nice.
I got like a 4-wall tent.
Nice.
On purpose so that I could just straight sleep
Wow.
in there.
That's perfect.
So I just put all my merch in there, kind of surrounded myself by the tables and my clothing racks and just plop myself right in the middle of it.
Awesome.
Just a little sleeping bag,
Nice.
sleeping mat. Slept, woke up a couple times thinking that I had bugs on my face, but I didn't. But that's what happens when you sleep directly on the ground.
I brought the pop-up this weekend, so we're living in luxury right now. Yeah.
Lucky you guys.
Hey,
listen, money's money, man. It costs a lot of money just for me to get my Blue Eddy power bank in my tent, let alone getting a actual pop-up tent to sleep out of on top of that. No.
Oh, yeah. So is this the first festival you've worked as like a vendor or?
So as a vendor, I was actually at Summer Gloom last weekend in Somerville. And that was my first one. Previous to this, I was actually doing a lot of stuff where I worked merch booths for bands at festivals.
Which bands?
I did Hush Club and Divine Sweater.
Ooh. Divine Sweater.
Yeah.
Did you make sweaters for them?
I did not, though I kind of wish I did. Listen, they had a really dope design for their like actual sweater, and they had like the playing cards on there, and the playing card said like DS, like Divine Sweater, instead of having like the King Queen signs or anything like that. Also, shout out to Hush Club and Divine Sweater. They both have concerts coming up, one on the 8th and one on the 21st, both in Mass.
Where in Mass?
Hush Club is at the Sinclair, and Divine Sweater is one of the venues in Amherst, Mass.
Amherst, okay.
Yeah, I can't remember which one, but check them out, especially Hush Club at the Sinclair. They're fantastic. Gotta rep my fave bands.
Absolutely.
Gotta shout them out every once in a
I
while.
also live in Mass. I live in Winchendon now, but I lived in Worcester for a long time, so big high command guy.
I know
was over
Worcester.
I used to go to Ralph's a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
That was at the height of that.
Heard many stories about Ralph's.
Ralph's
I have never
is sick.
walked in myself. Because I had been warned. I, ironically enough, am the daughter of a priest.
Oh, nice.
And so, obviously not that persona anymore. Look at what I'm wearing, look at what I'm selling. Definitely not giving off priest daughters vibes anymore.
Nah.
Yeah.
But I used to be warned by many people that I should not walk into Ralph's because I might have a coronary at everything that I see going on there.
I gotta tell you.
But now I'm like, I have to, I keep hearing about Ralph's. I need to go.
It is, as far as venues go, very unique.
Yeah.
Very awesome. The performances, it's so small on the upstairs, but it's so fucking awesome. The pits and the moshes and stuff like that. It is. It's super intimate.
I love
everyone
those
that shows.
concerts.
I saw a dead congregation there. So
nice.
you can literally and Cerebral Rot opened for them.
Yeah.
Before they stopped being a band.
That's a good set.
And rebranded.
That's a good set.
Yeah. So it's awesome. The only thing is that, and anyone who's been to Ralph's will know what I'm talking about. There's a pole, a support pole in the middle.
Shit.
So when you go and when they do a circle pit, they circle around the pole. But when you do hardcore shows, like I was watching,
oh my gosh, that's so dangerous.
I was watching Blood Tithe. Blood Tithe is a local mass band, super sick.
Yeah.
But these guys, there was this guy who was crowd killing. And he threw his arm back, and his elbow hit the pole and fucking snapped it.
Dude, okay.
No
Okay.
Oh
And
my
everyone
gosh, that's
just
so bad.
not a single person stopped. I think somebody jumped on him from the stage after that.
Dude.
So it's just like it was mid-moment. Everyone was going crazy.
Dude, I can just imagine a concussion happening over there. Like somebody accidentally gets rammed into the pole like a little bit too
Dude,
hard.
he just like he did it, and then he just like immediately knew he did it, and he just took off. I don't. So he just like
oh shit.
he just like went down the stairs. I don't know how bad it was. It looked bad.
Oh
It
my
might have been a
God.
stinger, but I don't know. He was crowd killing and stuff, which I know
Like,
not
I'm
everybody
kind of
likes
curious
that. but-
now. Did like he like snap his whole elbow? Like he had to do rehab for the rest of his
So
life? Like,
I don't know. I was
God
over.
damn.
I was over on the side between
That
the
was
stage
me,
and
I'd
the
die.
merch, so I couldn't really tell. But oh yeah, that was funny.
Oh my gosh, no! If I had anything happen to my arms or my wrists, I mean, I'd be fucked. My 2 careers is crocheting and bartending.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where do you bartend?
I actually do events all over Boston.
Really?
So I like this coming week. I'm actually working at Logan Airport, and I'm working at the New Balance building.
Oh, there you go.
And then I work a
Warrior
lot.
Arena attached to that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I work a lot of events like at the New England Aquarium.
Oh, okay.
Like people literally rent out the aquarium just
Yeah.
like for weddings, for
I gotta
corporate
tell you,
events.
that's a lackluster aquarium.
Yeah. Listen, I have been to the Atlanta Aquarium, and nothing compares. Nothing compares
thing
to that
is
aquarium.
Ridiculous.
Nothing compares to that aquarium. I mean, I went to the Denver one too. The Denver one is a lot more lackluster than New England Aquarium is.
You know, the
Yeah.
closest.
no offense to Denver Aquarium, but like
Yeah.
out of those 3, I'd do another road trip out to Atlanta just for the aquarium.
I think the closest I've ever gotten to the Atlanta Aquarium was watching it on Animal Planet.
Okay.
think that's
No,
about it.
it's literally it's so impressive. I went in
Yeah.
there, legitimately sat. They have like this giant tank that is literally, oh my gosh, I don't even remember how many square. It's like 8,000. It's some ridiculous
Yeah.
amount of square feet. It's literally like wall to wall.
Yeah.
Just all you can see is just clear blue and the fish swimming in there. And then they have the vibey music playing.
Oh, yeah.
And I literally
Damn.
sat there for
It's a
like
rave
3
for
hours.
fish.
I literally just
Wow.
sat there for 3 hours like crocheting and just staring at the fish. It was that's my other big thing too is
Yeah.
I like to get around expensing reporting a lot of things by crocheting everywhere that I go. And then being like, well, I was working on my business while I was
There you
there.
go.
Like
See, loopholes.
loopholes. I just have to become an LLC and then I can really
the-
utilize those
yeah,
loopholes.
then you can start writing stuff off.
Oh, I can write everything. Oh my
There
gosh,
you
no,
go.
I would love that.
So,
Put that right off my gas, everything.
Today, there's a pretty stacked lineup. Are there any bands in particular that you're excited to hear or see today? You're gonna be at your. I imagine you'll be at your booth a lot, being a lonesome
see,
person.
okay,
but-
so I'm a big weirdo. I know, like, if I hear a song, I'll know, like, oh my god, I know that song. But my brain can't retain the names of songs or the names of bands. But as soon as I hear somebody like on the stage and their set starts, I'm like, oh shit, wait a minute, I know who this is. Oh my god, wait a minute, I can't wait to see. Is Bongzilla playing today?
Who's that?
Is
Bongzilla,
Bongzilla?
yeah.
They're playing today?
They're playing today,
they're
like
remove
the
the
last
rainbows
band.
Yeah.
It's the
Let
last
me
band on
see.
the Wicked
yeah, they're
Ones.
8:05.
Yeah, okay,
And then
so.
Prong plays at 9 after that.
Yeah.
Leather
Yeah.
Lung,
Oh, Prong. Okay, no. Prong I am excited for.
Thy Will Be Done.
That will be done. Yeah.
good band.
Extinction AD I'm excited for.
Yeah, me too.
Well, perfect, because you're just right there.
Yeah, I'm just right there. Dang, so Bongzilla's at the other stage, though.
yeah, it's
so
over
we're gonna have
there.
to close early.
No, you know what? I have a friend of mine coming to, like, help me out with the booth today so that I can actually, shower and make myself look pretty and still, sell at the same time.
There you go.
So I might just be like, okay, your ass is going to stay at the booth so I can see Bongzilla real quick.
Yeah.
Because I quit. Listen, I smoked weed all day, every day for like 4 years. Had to quit for like health reasons and stuff. So that's the closest shit I'm getting to smoking weed right now.
Contact high. Of
The
just sitting
contact
there.
high is going to be fantastic, especially because they may have the no smoking under the covered surfaces rule.
They don't.
But the one thing that they said is that they would not be able to prevent it with Bongzilla whatsoever.
No,
Yeah,
I
for
mean
sure.
you really can't. It's
You
tough,
really
right?
you can't present
Yeah.
you can't prevent it with
Oh, yeah.
Bongzilla. I mean it's Bong is in the name.
Bonginator was.
Bonginator was
they
over
had the
there.
open, but
yeah.
man, that was crazy.
Oh my gosh, they had those giant green neon bongs and they had the
Yeah.
smoke coming out of it and everything. I was like, I was standing over here,
What a
like
great
probably
show.
midway through the set,
Yeah.
and you could just smell the weed wafting
Yeah.
over here from over there. Were they diffusing weed in those bongs?
I don't
Or was it
know.
regular
I think
smoke?
it was regular smoke, but
'Cause
they
that
were.
would
So
have been
the
fucking
singer,
cool.
Will, right?
Yeah.
Named Will. Yeah.
Yeah.
Will was smoking a bong in between songs.
Yeah, because I remember he was like, if
you
you
could see
really
him
love
putting it down and
weed,
stuff
be
like
in the
that.
front row. If you don't love weed, don't be in the front row.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
no.
perfect.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
bong is in the name.
Bong
Like,
is in the name.
But like, it's not a band that would talk about Barbies if there's Bonginator.
Exactly.
Like, the name would be Barbinator.
Barbinator. Okay, actually, that sounds like that'd be a dope metal band, though. Barbinator.
Barbinator. So everyone is like
Barbinator.
a Barbie on stage. And
Okay, wait, but like a metal version of
Death Grind
Barbie
Band.
Girl. Barbie World, what? Like,
Oh,
I'm a Barbie
I-
girl.
there's
I'm
one.
a
Barbie
There is
girl.
one.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, is
Barbie
there?
World.
There is. We saw the Cotton Eye Joe one the other day. You can look it up.
Like
Oh,
metal
shit.
version of Cotton Eye Joe?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Okay.
There's a
I
guy dressed as a
definitely-
giant sheep.
Listen,
I mean,
Lord help my family and my parents if I ever get married, because my entire wedding reception is just gonna be OG
Metal Cotton Eye
bangers,
Joe.
but like metal version
well.
and EDM version.
Okay, so you know what
I'm gonna
to
be
do?
headbanging the whole time.
Okay,
That's
go
awesome.
get the singer of Slaughter to Prevail, Alex
Alex
Terrible.
Terrible. Yeah.
Okay,
Alex
listen,
Terrible.
He did that, he
I'm a
did
good
that.
decade out probably from
Okay, so-
getting married,
Okay,
you know.
yeah, but like Alex Terrible, this guy, he did a cover of Barbie Girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like his cover, like it's not even like metal per se, like musically, but for the vocals, he just did like fucking growling vocals on Barbie Girl.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
I
gosh,
was
I
like,
love
that is perfect.
I have this there's this female metal artist that I am obsessed with that I absolutely love. Her name's Vana. She's out of New Zealand.
Vanna, yeah, I heard
Um,
about that.
okay.
I heard about
I,
her.
so
So
I'm big
she's
on
one of-
I'm big on New Zealand right now because Ulcerate came out, and Ulcerate is fucking.
Yeah,
It's my number one album of the year
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Cutting
So
the throat
her-
of God.
Her song Beg is like number 1 on the New Zealand charts right now.
shit.
So I've met her twice.
Really?
And the second time I met her, so the first time I saw her was in Atlanta, and that was one of the shows I traveled for. I saw there, she's under a record label called Rebellion Records,
Okay.
which is owned by Platinum, who used to be a pop singer, and it's kind of like changing the whole, like, that whole genre to be like hypersexual pop. And then he has a bunch of other artists that are like, Vana is like screamo, hyper femme metal music.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love her stuff. So I saw her for the first time in Atlanta. I saw Platinum for the first time in New York City in January with Chris Gray and Shaker. Loved them so much. I was like, you know what? I'm itching for a road trip. Looked up where they were going to be going next.
Yeah.
Looked up when I was going to have time to go out there. And I said, okay, Atlanta, done, sent. Didn't realize that Vana was going to be playing there.
Yeah.
I didn't meet anybody aside from Chris Gray at the New York City concert.
Yeah.
But then I met. Is that my phone? Oh, I was like, what the hell? And then when I went to Atlanta, I met Platinum, Chris Gray, and Vana. And the whole thing that got me obsessed was Platinum threw like his sweaty towel into the crowd, and it hit me direct on the face.
Shit.
The touch of greatness.
The touch of greatness. It was literally the touch of greatness, and I was like, oh my god, like I need to see these people like multiple times now. I ended up road tripping all the way out to Atlanta by myself, did the whole thing in one shot. Was I having a manic episode while I was doing this? Probably.
Those are the best.
But those are the best. I
Yeah.
mean, that was what fueled most of my I've been to like almost 50 concerts in 2024.
That's
Damn.
awesome.
So that's like I'm doing an art piece that's like every granny square that I'm making is inspired by every musician that I've seen play from Labor Day weekend of last year to Labor Day weekend of this year.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
So I've seen,
Good job.
I've also seen Russ, I've seen Metallica.
Yeah,
I
the
saw
shows and-
Pink last week with
Yep.
Sheryl Crow and the script. Oh my gosh. Amazing. I was right where
When she
the
flew.
pole is. You know how she puts the poles in the crowd?
Yeah.
My friend and I, like, literally, like, we're right here.
Yeah.
I could have reached up and touched her face.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Like, the pole was right in front of us. We were like, what the hell? Like, we got out of our normal floor seats to be near concessions because we got a better view of the stage. And then all of a sudden we see the pole getting wheeled over towards the end of the concert, and the security guard comes up to us and he goes, I just want to let you girls know, like, that's where Pink is going to land. And we were like, what? He was like, you guys might want to, like, go over to that area before everybody else realizes that that's where we were right at the gate.
That's awesome.
And everything. It was so much fun. But yeah, so I met Vanna, Chris Gray, and Platinum in Atlanta, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I made Platinum a shirt for that concert, and then a matching shirt for myself. And him and Chris Gray brought me on stage
That's awesome.
for one of their songs to sing with them. And everything. And then I found out that they were doing a pop-up in May in New York City.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, okay, we're dishing the money for the meet and greet, and it ended up being Platinum, Chris Gray, Vanna, and Shaker. So all four of the people that I had seen between the two collective concerts,
We're all right there.
all were going to be right there. I was like, okay, shit, I'm making a new shirt. Like, I upgraded my business. I upgraded my craft, you know. We're making a new shirt for Platinum. We're making a shirt and beanie for Vanna. I'm making beanies for the other two guys.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be great. I met all of them again, and I had been, like, messaging them, like, I have, like, presents for you guys. And Vanna was actually messaging me back being like, there's no fucking way. She was like, there's no way. I show up with, like, the shirt and everything. She starts freaking out about the shirt. I was like, oh my gosh. That was what gave me, like, the biggest motivation that, like, oh shit, I could do this. Like, she was like, dude, like, please tell me you need to sell stuff. And then we made a bet that by that time next year, I'd be one of her costume designers.
Wow.
So now I'm like, okay, we need to work the festivals. We need to get into the concert world. We need to up the caliber. Like, you know, and she's starting to blow up right now too. So I'm like, okay, we got to get the momentum going.
Got to go right in line.
Like, I got to send her some more, like, free stuff. Get her to, like, love me even more, you know, all that fun stuff. But yeah, after that, like, I just went even crazier with concerts and full-fledged started the business, got an art studio in Boston to operate out of, whole 9 yards, and now we're here.
That's awesome.
At RPM Fest. And honestly, it's a lot of fun, and I'm really excited. Besides getting eaten alive by mosquitoes, it's great.
Yeah. Do you have bug spray?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah. But bug spray doesn't always work. The doctors like to say that I have very, very sweet blood.
Oh, that's a very weird thing to say, huh?
Because
that's like what a serial killer would say.
Okay, so
well,
they
apparently,
tasted.
like, O-type blood is, like, sweeter to mosquitoes. Or, like, it's more like mosquitoes like O-type blood more.
It's got more sugar or something?
I'm not quite sure on that one.
That's crazy.
I'm not quite sure, but all I know is that ever since I was a kid, you know, surprisingly, I don't have as many bug bites as I usually do, but maybe it's actually working now.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But I used to, oh my gosh, like huge, like mosquito bites, swollen, everything like that. And, you know, thank God that hasn't happened yet this weekend. Knock on synthetic material that, you know, it won't happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm having a fun time so far. And I mean, how many music festivals did you go to where they have a drag brunch and burlesque and a D&D tournament and is that Magic the Gathering or D&D that's going on?
It's Magic the Gathering.
It's Magic the
And
Gathering.
also D&D. There's a D&D thing.
There is a D&D
Oh, no, Dice Battle League. That's what's going on right now.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Dice Battle League.
Okay. And then Magic the Gathering.
There is
Yeah,
a Magic Gathering tournament.
And there's the metal yoga.
Yep.
Yeah.
And heavy metal trivia.
Yep.
Like,
and then 2 wrestling shows.
2 wrestling shows, but also, like, how many festivals do you go to where there's this many sets going on, too? Like, never. I have never seen such, like, I mean, it's all rock, punk, metal music, so it's diverse, but, like, it's in the same realm, but also, like, not to be inappropriate, this is also the kinkiest group of motherfuckers that I know, too. So it's like, and everybody's so, like, open about it, and I mean, half of the vendors are, like, selling kinky shit. You know what I mean? So it's like
shout out to Leather Pixie.
Yes, yes. Oh my gosh. So actually, Hope is at Artisans Asylum, where my art studio is as well, and they're the ones that introduced me to RPM.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and Summer Gloom as well. So
Fantastic.
that was shout out to Leather Pixie. I love you. You're amazing. You're fantastic. Like, literally, would not be as far along with my business right now as I am without them and their help. Would not know about the tents, power banks, any of that stuff that I needed without them. So shout out, absolutely shout out. And also just like setting up that burlesque show, that was so good yesterday.
Yeah.
It was so good yesterday. I mean, I was half dead, but like the parts that I did see, I saw Scraps performance, I saw the Ortega fashion show, I saw one of the drag queens go on stage, but I kind of kept going back and forth because I didn't want to leave my tent alone for too long either. But it's such an amazing collective of people. And like, it's freaking epic. I'm like so ready for the rest of today and for tomorrow too.
Absolutely.
Kind of like, is it annoying that it might rain? Yes. Do I love the fact that it might rain? Also yes, because like it means nobody's going to overheat.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a big problem in past years.
I heard.
Well, Arsenia, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
Oh, absolutely.
This has been awesome.
Absolutely.
Good luck selling all of
Thank
your
you.
great merch.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Hopefully you guys get a lot more super, super cool people, probably cooler than me coming on here.
Oh, we'll see. We got the sign out front. Whoever wants to stop by. A lot of people are shy, might have to entice them.
Yeah.
But
Listen, I mean, I feel like when you tell people that there won't be like a camera on them and it's just their
Yeah, I
voices
think
showing
it's
up,
better.
they might like be
No
a little
cameras.
more susceptible to doing it.
no cameras here.
No
you know.
cameras. No cameras.
We're not shooting scenes. No, nothing like that.
Not today. Not today.
Awesome. Well, hey, thank you very much.
Thank
This
you
has been
guys.
awesome.
It was
Thank you
so
so
much
much.
fun.
All right, guys, we're continuing our interviews here at RPM Fest. We actually have a returning guest, a very old friend of ours, Drew Phillips, here from Four Phantoms, owner-operator.
Hi, Evan. Hi, Phil.
How's it going, buddy?
Hey, man. We're still here. We've got 7 taps live, 2 ciders, 1 mead, and 4 beers at RPM Fest. This is our 3rd year sponsoring, so pretty fucking good, man.
Yeah, that's
feeling
nice.
real good today.
Perfect.
How many festivals can say they have a mead on tap ready to go? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what's more metal.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything.
There's
good stuff,
nothing
man.
more metal than meat on tap.
Yeah.
Four Phantoms sponsoring the main stage again this year.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, we just caught Maidenhead, who absolutely slayed.
Yes.
And then Goblin Hobble has got their thing going on right now.
Yep.
Looking forward to Prong later on tonight.
Oh,
We do.
They're closing out the stage today, and then Wiccan Ronan's got Bongzilla over on their stage closing it out today. It's stacked.
That is stacked, yeah.
That's so
Extinction AD also on that stage.
Yes.
Looking forward to that. What's that? Is that Leather Lung? Right before
Yep,
Prong?
Leather Lung
Dude,
rips.
it gets better and better
Absolute
like every
rippers. Yeah, I mean, it's like having this just be like about 10 minutes from my house.
year. That's perfect.
Quite a good feeling.
Yeah.
Quite a good feeling.
For sure,
So
man.
how's the brewery business? You coming up with ideas? You coming up with a lot of stuff?
Yeah,
you know?
man. So we just got our winery license, which means we can produce cider and mead now. So basically, we take heirloom apples from a local orchard called Pine Hill in Coleraine, Massachusetts, making cider from that. And then the Lion's Skull, which is sort of our tribute to like the Earth album, which I brewed a lot of beer listening to. The Bees Made Honey in the Lion's Skull.
Nice.
So that was our first mead we ever made. We made it with wildflower honey. It's really good, really light, easy drinking, bone dry. Nice like tropical fruit flavors in there. But yeah, man, it's like, I love making cider. I worked for Artifact Cider Project for a while, and it's really feels good to be back to that. Given how many apple orchards we have in the area.
Yeah. I love that everything's always local. I've been to Pine Hills before.
Oh yeah.
When
you came in.
when Drew. Yeah, I
we
came.
crushed some pints up there.
Yeah, I brought my wife. It was a good time. They did the live music. You guys served. Really cool place.
Yeah.
Just outside of being an orchard,
Yeah.
they also have their own little kind of beer selling area, and they do a lot of really good barbecue
Yeah.
as well.
Really
So
good
it's a
barbecue.
great summer place to go to.
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
great. If you want to do something incredibly wholesome and very Western Mass, you can go pick apples out in their orchard. So that's awesome. But yeah, man, they have a whole beer and wine section. If you're a home brewer or want to make, try your hand at making homemade cider, They have everything you'd ever need. And then this year, hopefully, the Redfield crop, the Redfield apple, which is a red flesh apple, which gives the cider that you make from it like a rosé kind of hue to it. Very unique apple to this region, looking like a bumper crop this year. So looking forward to making a bunch of cider with that this year. And
Nice.
releasing it sometime this fall.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
How long have you been coming to RPM Fest?
So I moved to East Hampton in 2019, East Hampton, Mass, to work for Artifact Cider Project and launch for Phantoms as a contract brand. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go to RPM that year, and then COVID shut everything down the next year. But when things were looking like they were reopening in 2022, got back on it. We're the presenting sponsor and have been rolling ever since. So, yeah, 22, 23, 24, and then, we'll just keep it rolling as long as we can.
Yeah.
So, you guys did, I believe it was Grim Ritual, was either last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah, we release Grim Ritual, that's our Czech Pilsner, with art by Eli, who has done, Eli Wood, who has done a lot of the artwork for RPM over the years.
Yeah.
He did the cover art for that one. It's a Czech Pilsner made with all Czech malt and German hops. Really dry, really crisp, very traditional.
Yeah.
No bullshit.
Oh.
No funny business. But yeah, great beer, really cool artwork.
Wow.
In fact, our main stage has the artwork from Eli Wood, that whole big Grim Ritual backdrop on the Four Phantoms stage.
So that's what he does. Yeah, that's awesome.
That was his. That's his
Nice.
art back there.
Did you is that going to be a thing? I don't know if you did one this year, but would you do one different every year for RPM?
Yeah, it kind of depends. And this is maybe like not a super sexy answer, but things are a bit shaky in the beer world right now. So especially we're what you would call like a nano brewery. Very small operation, very small team. So we kind of are like a little bit paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
And so we can when we are able to. And so that gives us a little bit less flexibility to make custom beers whenever we want. But yeah, for next year, I think Grim Ritual is the one that like kind of stuck. So that's going to be the one that we roll with for RPM for a while. But pretty much everybody whose artwork we use on the cans is a part of the larger RPM community.
Yeah.
So Eli Wood, obviously, shout out to Lucky Wizard Tattoo Studio up in Brattleboro, Vermont. And then John Gulo, who is one of the founders of RPM Fest. His artwork is on our Hand of Doom Imperial
Slime
Stout.
and Grime.
Slime and Grime, with his partner Nikki Galinsky, who is our assistant war leader at Four Phantoms.
Yeah.
So you'll see her behind the bar a whole lot. And then also Scott Murphy and Liz Alba contribute artwork to our cans. They're fantasy artists. Scott works for Wizards of the Coast. Liz does a lot of stuff for Llewellyn Publications, tarot decks, things like that. They're at the fest every year with their little kids.
Nice.
So it's dope. So pretty much everybody we work with, for that can art is a part of this larger RPM community out here in Western Mass. And then, Southern Vermont in Eli's case.
Nice.
But yeah, so it's good stuff. It's
awesome.
It has its tendrils all over the place.
Yeah, I was super stoked to see Four Phantoms was in my hometown, actually, in Winchendon, Mass. Because I just moved there from Worcester this year, actually. So they did a food truck festival, and Four Phantoms was there.
Battle of the Bands.
Yeah, I showed up, family in tow, and I tell you, me and my wife were stoked.
Yeah.
We saw the big Four Phantoms sign right up front and was like, hell yeah.
That's such a great event every year. One of our staff just kind of rolled the dice on reaching out to them, our head of the pub, Ryan, and it just turned out to be a wonderful event, so cool. Everybody was stoked to see us there. We were, really excited to support live music in Winchendon.
Yeah.
yeah, really cool event and like super positive response from everybody when we went there.
Yeah, there was
That's
a punk band playing Rage Against the Machine, and my son was the only one out there dancing.
Yes, starting early.
Loved it.
Starting early,
Wow.
get in the pit.
Oh man. You're always you really like to do your sours, your darks. You really like to get creative. I would say you're more on the flavorful, light, like you really take flavors to another degree.
Thank you.
I want to say you're not safe in a good way. Like a lot of breweries like to stay safe. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
right.
you love to do things like you have the Mexican lager that's showcasing here. We have Bong Druid. A lot of different styles and stuff. It's not just the classic basic things, and that's what I've always appreciated about
Thanks,
Phantoms.
man. I appreciate you noticing.
Johnny Flip Flops, man, that's a great beer.
That's
That's a great beer, dude.
Yeah, that beer. So we've had a couple iterations of that. It started out as a pineapple guava sour, morphed it into a mojito sour in its like second, phase, and then kind of moved it into a limoncello sour after that. All vegan sour, and it's inspired by a guy named Johnny Cochran. He was a tour manager for Less Than Jake and the Teen Idols back in the day. A band called Ass Chapel. If you've ever heard of those guys, there's a great re-release of their entire catalog, I believe through Relapse, that you can check out. Fucking amazing band. John was their tour manager. Just an absolute like metal and punk on the road lifer.
Yeah.
And he kind of mentored me. We were in a band together, and like the first tours that I ever went on, that guy like sort of showed me the ropes on how to stay healthy or not, when you're out playing music, and just tons of good stories and shit like that. And so he was a huge inspiration. Great beer that we donate a portion of the proceeds to animal welfare organizations. John is a longtime vegan animal rights activist.
Yeah.
So every time you buy a Johnny Flip Flops, a little bit of that goes to the Dakin Humane Society in Springfield, Mass.
Wow.
How's the expansion on the brewery coming along? I know you guys do a lot of, like, you'll do like drag shows, you'll do D&D nights.
Oh, yeah.
You got Magic the Gathering nights.
Yeah.
You got, Patchburger, who's here now, often goes there. There's a bunch of other food trucks that go there, but I know at some point you wanted to do some light shows.
Yeah, so we've been testing the waters. We almost had a show with a few bands. It was a really stacked lineup, but like we're not super set up as a venue, so we don't really have the infrastructure for like, if guys are bringing in half stacks, and a big back line and things like that, like we just don't necessarily have what we need to accommodate that. Yeah. And so John from Promoterhead tried really fucking hard to get that show going, but it was like sourcing the equipment and everything was a little bit cumbersome. But we have had a bunch of jazz, some like roots music, things like that. So that's been cool. But yeah, we've been having drag shows, drag trivia, drag bingo, through the drag house of Horrors, Horrors Dervs, who lives down there in Amherst, is sort of the drag queen / king of that house. So shout out to them. It's wonderful events every time they do it. Those performers work so fucking hard, and do a great show every time. And then Patchburger, man, he's a punk from back in the day. Started a burger truck with just a Blackstone, some beef, and a dream.
Nice.
And so that's awesome.
Yeah, he's serving his hot, greasy beefcakes on, let's see, most weeks, and we'll be having him through the fall until it's a little too cold for him to set up outside. But yeah, he'll be outside under the tent, serving up hot, greasy beefcakes.
Nice.
And chicken wings and all kinds of stuff. But dude, those burgers are amazing.
Yeah,
It's been so
really
cool to have him. I think
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. I think everybody on staff has gained like 30 pounds since he moved in with us. He's kind of our roomie right
I've
now.
had it like 3 or 4 times now already.
That's great.
Yeah. It's good. Now, you're new to New England. I know that you came from the West Coast.
That's true. West Coast by way of the Deep South. So New England is like big culture shock. Yeah.
What is your? We talked a lot about foods here.
Yes.
What is your favorite New England staple so far?
Oh man. So I got to say, like, overall, living in Western Mass where we are, being able to drive down the street like less than 10 minutes to, like, you know, this farm, Bostrom Farm, up the hill is Graves Glen Farm, like knowing those guys personally and being able to buy like a big steak or a pork butt, you know, or like some sausages like from the farmer, you know where it came from, they're your neighbors, you know, Kyle from Bostrom Farm and his butcher are always in the pub grabbing pints. So it's cool. It's like, it's that sense of community, you know, that really, you know, not just like fills your belly, but like feeds the soul too. You know what I mean? It's like, you're supporting your neighbors, they're supporting you. And so like Kyle will do like maple cured Italian sausage, like with the maple syrup that they're cooking up on the farm. And I think that's been the whole thing of just like, I use local maple syrup in so many of my beers. Like overall, I mean, if I had to say it, like apples and maple syrup and then the local meat, it's just like the combo of those things and making them all sing together is so fun.
Would you ever consider a clam chowder beer?
You know, was not expecting that one.
Look, a clam chowder poutine, I would be down. But a clam chowder beer, I think it's weird.
So I think we could do it, man. I think we could do like a cream stout that we use, like that we kind of make like an oyster stout, except we use clam shells instead of the oyster shells.
I saw one time, I forget the brewery's name, but they did a oyster cracker stout.
Oyster cracker
and
stout.
I tell you, when you have it, it's spot on, brother. It's spot on.
Huh.
But definitely acquired taste.
Oh, dude, and I can't,
you know what I mean?
And speaking of which, like I can't leave out the seafood. Obviously, like the seafood is amazing here. Like, so we're talking about doing that. We've ever since we opened, we've been wanting to do a whole party for like our taproom members where I shuck a bunch of oysters. We eat a bunch of oysters from, you know, Duxbury or, you know, Wellfleet or something like that. Throw them in the kettle during a stout brew, get that nice saltiness in it, make a good oyster stout. So, you know, I think if we take that principle and apply it to a clam chowder stout, we could do it.
We can figure something out.
Do it,
Small batch. Very small. Very small
But
batch.
no, man, it's like
experimental.
Yeah, the seafood here is unbelievable. And I'm talking as someone who comes from like coastal South Carolina. Yeah. So like I'm picky, man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
The lobsters here are top notch.
Honestly, I come from Quebec, and we have this region called Gaspésie. Yeah. Gaspésie, there's a shit ton of seafood there. And it's like, for me, I have like my needs when I want seafood. Like I don't like seafood in cans. I just want the seafood like fresh.
Yeah.
I just want fresh. Like canned sometimes, but fresh is like the way to go. And honestly, when I learned that Massachusetts was mostly a coast like state, I was like, you know what? I need to taste that seafood. Yeah. I need it. I need to go in Cape Cod or somewhere in Massachusetts.
Yeah, man.
You got to be careful what time. Dude, there's like one way in. That bridge. Oh, my God. That bridge is a bastard. You got to really be selective about when you go.
It can be brutal.
Yeah,
and there's sharks now, so you got to be careful.
But, I mean, honestly, if we wanted to take a trip to the Cape in wintertime, what's more fucking metal than that?
Exactly.
Like,
it's a tundra.
It is it's
That's
a like
planet. That's
it is
planet.
a desolate landscape.
Yeah.
With like the unforgiving sea rolling in the distance, you know.
Dude,
yes.
like if you come back in Quebec, you need to go to Gaspésie. During winter, it's weird. Like because like during summer, every tourist is going there.
Yeah.
Like there's a little town called Percé, and in Percé you have the Percé Rock. It's like a pierced rock, rock that is pierced. Like there's a big hole in it. And the city is called Percé because of that. A lot of people are going there on summer. No one is coming during winter.
Yep.
It's incredible. I see that. I was just like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's good stuff.
Yep.
Love it. Love Quebec.
Yeah. Well,
Quebec
Drew,
is
hey,
great.
appreciate you taking the time.
Hey, thank you guys. I'm really glad that you guys came back to RPM.
Yeah.
It's always good to see Evan. Always good to see Phil.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're gonna keep talking, but we're gonna do it off of the interview here. So, but always a pleasure, man.
All right, thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, cheers.
Cheers.
All right, guys, we're continuing our vendor interviews. We are here with Brett from BK Artworks. How you doing, buddy?
Not bad. Great for having. Great to be here. Thanks for having me, guys. It's awesome.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yep.
So I saw you were doing some freehand doodling over there. Some pretty sick, realistic-looking artwork. What exactly is it that you love to draw?
Thanks. Yeah, appreciate it. I mean, I basically, if you've seen the logo for the show, I designed the logo for RPM Fest this year with the guitar alien.
Oh,
Yep.
nice.
Yep. I worked with John Goulot and all them. I had the idea at the end of last RPM Fest and sent it their way, and we just spent all year working on it, and really happy with how it came out. So
Nice.
But yeah, so I do that. But then on top of that, I'm just kind of like your general blue collar creative. Like I work a day job, but I also do a lot of concept design. I do a lot of illustration. I design my own enamel pins. I do a lot of art books and do a lot of commissions. I always joke I've accidentally designed more tattoos than I have on purpose.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Like I'll get I've done a lot. Like one of my good friends. He'll love it that I tell this story, but like I had sold something at an event like a couple years ago and then didn't think anything of it, never met the guy, and then a few years fast forward, I was at a holiday fair in Northampton, and the same guy walks by, we sort of recognized each other, sort of, because we're like, you look familiar, but I don't remember. And then he was kind of like shy, and then he came back up and he was like, hey, were you at this place like 5 years ago, and did you sell a picture of a winged skull melting through a halo? And I went, yeah. I was like, oh, did you get it? He goes, yeah, man, I bought it. I really, really liked it. I go, oh, that's awesome, man. It's good to see you again. He goes, no. You don't understand. I really liked it. He starts unbuttoning his shirt. He had gotten it tattooed at the top of his sternum all the way down to his stomach.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was
That's
like,
a tough spot, too.
yeah. And I was like, wow, okay, you really undersold the you liked it part. All right, cool. But yeah, so I'm lucky enough that I get to draw stuff and I get to collect silly little stories like that.
How
so, yeah.
gratifying is that to know that somebody loves your art so much?
It's super. You'll never get used to it. It is definitely a very gratifying experience, and I'm lucky that I've been able to have it happen a couple times, and I get it a lot when I'm here too, for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because I'm a traditional artist. I do a little bit of digital art, which I normally relegate to like enamel pins and stuff, but like my heart is just making like physical drawings, and these days traditional arts, it's kind of it's become much more of like a dying breed type of thing, and I really like keeping it alive, and it's really nice, and I'm just thankful that I have a lot of people that like what I make, and they tend to buy it on occasion. So yeah.
That's fantastic.
Thanks, man.
So we were talking to Carl of the Irony Jewelry. He was saying that you also did like a D&D dice little event over here today?
Yeah, we did the maiden voyage of a little experiment called Dice Battle League. It happened at 10 a.m. to noon today, around give or take, and I'm a big Dungeons and Dragons fan, and like me and a bunch of my nerd friends, like who actually I used to chronically co-host a podcast with my friends called Opinions May Vary from 2012 to 2022.
Interesting.
They're all like very like nerd-centric, like Comic-Con type of stuff. Like we would find like comic book creators and we go to conventions and stuff. So like, those guys, we started playing D&D like around 2017 or so. So like I got really into it, and just as a joke, I just pitched the idea, just being like, hey, like what if I can homebrew a total like 2-hour game that anyone who wants to play can just waltz on. I'll hop on a mic and be goofy for a little while.
Yeah.
And I pretty much just homebrewed the entire game. I made over 40 different items, weapons, creatures, and potions, all named after the bands that were playing.
Really?
Wow. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was very lucky. Although the people that were playing were really happy until one of them accidentally revealed Bongzilla and had to fight Bongzilla. That was a little more trouble. That was a little more trouble than they thought. I was like, oh,
a real kaiju fight.
It genuinely was, yeah. Because there was a druid barbarian who's in wild shape into a brown bear fighting Bongzilla, and I'm like, I love this game. This game's just great.
That's epic.
Yeah, it was super fun.
What's your character?
Oh, I was the dungeon master, like DMC, if you will, dungeon master of ceremony.
Have you always been a dungeon master, or have you played?
I definitely played. Like I bounced around. I got ADHD, so I don't sit in one thing for very long. But like when I'm not DMing, I have a bunch of like characters. My partner over yonder, Babs, she's a phenomenally talented dungeon master in her own right. Mm-hmm. But like I'd say probably one of my favorite characters is a goblin artificer named Squib. Played him for a long time. He's just a big old goofy guy.
Nice.
His homunculus is a gigantic robotic spider that he rides like a, kind of like rides like a little horse. But he's like 3 feet tall, so it's just like the size of like a Hasbro Play School car.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's a fun character. Sid Soulstealer is another one, like a Fire Genasi Bard. Like grew up in a brothel, like really fun guy. Like hair's on fire, and he's afraid to sleep anywhere, so he just sleeps standing up so that way he doesn't set anything on fire when he's taking a nap. So
wow.
Yeah, but like that, and I have a bunch of others. Like I got really into the weeds, and it's just a fun vessel for storytelling, which is why I really glomped onto it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's where I kind of found my love for it, and I was thankful enough that I was able to run a bunch of chaos. It's a big ask to get a bunch of strangers that have never played D&D with you to play D&D in front of people, and then to just make it and be comfortable in that. And luckily I've been a professionally paid moron for many years, so I'm lucky it's in my wheelhouse.
That's awesome. So do you play a lot of video games?
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to play a lot more video games than I do now. Nowadays, I spend more of my time just doing production, just drawing the next thing. So,
gotcha.
Yeah.
So because obviously with the release of Baldur's Gate 3, I feel that D&D has sort of ticked up a lot. Like a lot of people are now getting into it just from the exposure. Based on that franchise.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate for sure from the video game standpoint. I mean, Critical Role was a huge factor in that too. With like now they have their cartoon show, but they really got ahead of it. On Amazon Prime. Yep. Yeah, like and there were just a bunch of voice actors, and the reason why like they got really popular is because they were all voice actors that had been in really well-known anime and cartoons. Yeah. So they already had like a built-in fan base that kind of followed them along, and they're just really fun, cool, affable people that you can watch for a couple hours and can make it entertaining, and they're great at storytelling. And the D&D just kind of serves as a vessel for them to do that. Mm-hmm. And then, so they hit back in like 2016, I want to say, and then they got their stride in 2018. And then when everything shut down, like podcasting became much more prevalent. And then that's why like Critical Role really started taking off because it was huge. But I mean, that's my humble interpretation. I could be way off. Baldur's Gate is hugely involved in that too, and D&D just as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's been around for like, I want to say they celebrated 50 years. I want to say.
Yeah.
The post office. They just released the postage stamps for them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
To go back to your art for a little bit.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Your inspiration, obviously, it's from what I could tell, very realistic. Very, very, very detailed.
I tried.
As you say, traditional.
Yes.
So how did you get into drawing? Like, how did you come up with the idea that these are the images, like this is what I want to do, narrowing it all down?
Sure, that's a great question because that varies. That like my answer now, like in between 2 weeks, will slightly alter because it's a constantly evolving thing that I do. But I grew up like drawing. I always joke that drawing was the first thing I did that I didn't get yelled at, where like my parents were like, oh, he's sitting down and he's not causing property damage? Yeah, just do that. Just keep doing that. Like, please, like, lower our bills. Just, we'll give you some paper. A paper is way less expensive than replacing drywall or a new bike or something.
Yeah.
But like, so I just got through there, and then I was really influenced by comic books, obviously. I grew up like in high school, a big fan of Spawn when Spawn was like a hit in the 2000s. So like my inspirations really come from like the comic book world, fine art and illustration for sure. I was a huge Bill Watterson fan with Calvin and Hobbes, so like that was like a big deal. So like the having like the organic like very flowy watercolor stuff has always stuck with me. And Where's Waldo, oddly enough. Like I was looking at some of my more like I've been doing a little bit more detailed work. I just did an art book that I came out with in April called Surreal Estate, which is all kind of loosely based off of Celtic folklore and like Gothic architecture and stuff, like a lot of fairy homes.
I love that. Yeah, fairies.
Huge fan, like come from a big Irish family, so like I really wanted to kind of do my own homage to that. But like it's very
in there.
Not enough. More than one, but less than 5. But like so I wanted to do that, and just there's like Yeah, so the detail really comes from the meditative practice and doing that. So a lot of my work that I'm doing now is a lot more detailed. But generally speaking, it depends. It all depends on like what I want to get done and how I want to get done. So right now I'm on this stretch of road of drawing like a series of illustrations, getting as many of them as I can before I kind of like shift gears and kind of go on to something else. So like right now I'm prepping up for Gourd Folk Fest 2024, which is I'm revisiting a Halloween series of drawings that I did last year.
Yeah.
I drew 72 illustrations over the course of October and sold them on Instagram at $10 a pop. Sold all 74 in a month. That was really exciting, like 3x6, and they're the ones that you saw that I was working on, like the pumpkin people. I call them Gourd Folk because I thought that was just a cute name.
Gourd Folk.
And,
that's a great name, actually.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's a good band name.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like the thing that I'm doing right now. Once again, it's less. Like the detail varies depending on the idea that I want to get done. I definitely draw for efficiency because like I can hammer out a drawing in like, a half hour or 45 minutes depending. But like there's also drawings that I like doing that'll take days or weeks to complete. But right now I like the satisfaction of just sitting down, cracking off a drawing in one go, putting it out there, and then have someone walk by and being like, "Whoa, what is that?" I'm like, yeah, it's a pumpkin person playing the bass. And you're like, I want that. I'm like, there you go. So like, I'm lucky that I get to do that a bunch of times. So
that's fantastic.
Thank you, man.
Awesome. Well, what do you think of RPM Fest so far?
I love RPM Fest. I've been coming here for like the last, I've been coming here since 2018, and I designed the logo back in 2018. But I was the Heavy Metal Yeti, or I like to call him Kick-Ass Squatch. Nice. That was like a fun one. But yeah, so I like coming here every year. Every year I come here, I find a new band that I really obsess over and get really into. I think my first year in 2018, I found Moontooth, and I got really into Moontooth.
I'm a big Moontooth guy.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, they're so rad.
Yes.
Were you here last year when you saw their set?
No, unfortunately, but I saw them in Revere.
Awesome.
And then unfortunately, shortly after that, I think Eric got sick.
Yeah.
So they didn't really do a lot of touring. So I was happy to see them then, but I saw they were here, and I was like, because they were supposed to come here the COVID year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so they got pushed. But
so I got to see them here, and they came back last year.
Great album.
Oh my God, they're so good. Yeah, it's in my like top, like I have like 6 albums on rotation every one, and then I'll rotate them out every once in a while.
Oh yeah.
I don't know when Phototroph's getting out, but it's gonna probably the next time they come out with an album.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I found them, and then I think the year after that, like in 2019. My Monochromatic Black was the band that I got into. So like I really like them like that. And I'm not even that much of like a death metal, like black metal, death metal fan, but like I just like them a lot. Like, and that's the thing that I like coming to RPM Fest is that you'll listen to bands, you'll watch bands play here, and you'll love their music. But then if you were to just pop in their CD or like find them elsewhere, like you just wouldn't have the connective tissue for it.
Yeah.
So that's why I always support people seeing live music, and RPM Fest is such a great bastion for that because you come here, you will find bands you never knew that you were going to come see, let alone that you were now going to collect their artwork, like their band, their merch. You're going to follow them for forever because it's that in-person traditional approach to music that I will never shy away from. You know? Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, Brett, thank you very much for giving us your time.
Oh, of course.
And attention.
Yeah.
It has been awesome to talk to you.
Likewise, man. Yeah, I'm glad you came out here and do this. Like, it's an honor to hop on, and I can't wait for the rest of the weekend to shake out, man.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I know. So lots of really good bands still to come. Prong comes tonight. Leather Lung, Thy Will Be Done. That's just the main stage.
Oh, yeah.
That's not talking about Bongzilla and who else we got there? The Witchening. I know. I like those guys are good too. So it's going to be a good lineups. If you guys aren't here, you should be.
Oh yeah,
and if not, come next year.
Oh, exactly. You got about 36 hours left for this year, and then you got to wait till next year. But get here. Just get here if you can.
Where can people find your artwork?
Sure, BK Artworks. That's the name that I have. That's the handle. Honestly, if you just punch that into Google, it'll send you where I need to go. That's my Instagram handle. It's my Reddit handle. And honestly, Instagram's where I do all my fun stuff. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Brett.
Not a problem.
Really
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Great talking to you guys. Heck yeah. Rock on.
How's it going, guys? We are continuing our vendor interviews here. We have actually the first vendor we talked to when we first got to RPM Fest. We have Rob here from Rockland Music.
What's going on?
So Phil bought a guitar from you. We've actually talked about it quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a joke because, like, I do not regret the guitar. Not at all.
No, I
It's
dig
the
it.
best guitar, but I see my finances and now I'm like, oh, it's hurting a little bit.
We've all been there. We've absolutely all been there.
Yeah, but honestly, like, I would just like work harder to just have more money, and that's it.
I dig that.
But the guitar, it will be with me until I die.
There we go. We like that.
How long have you been coming to RPM Fest?
Let's see. My first year was 2019. That year I did a punk fest with Hope next door, Leather Pixie, and she talked me into this, and I have never looked back. The RPM Fest changed my life. I look forward to this every year, and literally the last day when everybody's packing up and it's time to go, it's literally like the last day of summer camp.
Yeah.
You feel you feel that emotion. You're like, oh my god, I gotta wait until next year to do this again. It's a phenomenal place here. It's a phenomenal place. The people are excellent. The atmosphere is incredible. I'll do this until they don't want me here anymore.
I doubt that. They'll always want you here. Absolutely. As far as I can tell, you're the only one that has instruments of this amazing caliber. Where did your love for guitars come from? Where did it start?
Well, it started when, believe it or not, the same way a lot of other people did. When I heard Eddie Van Halen.
Yep.
All of a sudden, I was amazed. I was absolutely amazed that those kind of sounds could come from an instrument. And again, this is back before YouTube, back before, literally the second album, the second tape that I bought was 1984. And from there, it just kept going and going and going. From, when you have Eddie Van Halen, then you learn about Randy Rhoads. And then for Randy Rhoads, you learned about Jakey Lee, and it just keeps going and going and going. And then I was 13 years old. My father surprised me by buying me my first guitar.
That's awesome.
And it just, I was hooked, done. And from there, my first guitar turned into my second guitar, turned into my third guitar, I sold my second guitar.
Ooh.
And then basically from 13 on, it's always been buy, sell, trade.
Yeah.
I started my collection when I'm going to say when I was 13, and by the time I was 18, I had, I'm going to say close to 80 guitars. Through the buy, sell, trade.
Yeah.
And it was a good, it was a good entry into retail. And I realized at that point that I don't want to sell guitars for a living. It's a passion. That's it.
Yeah.
This is just a passion. Making sure to get the right guitar to the right person for the right price.
Exactly.
That's all I care about.
And when you said that, you just look at me.
Honestly, man, I make no money doing this.
To
I really
be
don't.
fair, it's been a long time I wanted to buy a guitar. The last time I bought a guitar, I bought it from a guy in Quebec City who was making his own guitar.
Rock and roll. Yep.
And I bought this one, and honestly, even though it's not the best guitar, even though it needs more love, I bought it because it wasn't expensive, and I was like, that's great because this guy loves guitar. And I prefer to buy from someone that loves it and someone that just like do it for the buck
Dig it.
and have no passion for it. And like when I saw you 2 years ago and you told me about this, I was like, dude, it's like I will need a guitar from you someday, and that day came yesterday.
I was ecstatic. I was ecstatic about it because again, I don't buy guitars from everybody.
Yeah.
I don't sell guitars to just anybody. It has to be. It has to work.
Yeah.
It absolutely has to work. My girlfriend, she made a joke. You're not really buying a guitar. You're paying a rehoming fee. It's not about the sales. It's not about making money, because all of this, it just funds itself so I can come back to RPM and do it again. So I can bring some more guitars in for everybody to, whether it's admire or make offers and buy. I mean, it doesn't. It's more than just sales. This is this is the atmosphere. You know, this is the atmosphere, and if I can add to the atmosphere, great. If I can sell some of the woodworking wares that I have, you know, if I can bring some of the other artists that are in my artist coalition, the fourth floor artists out of South Shore, Massachusetts, I bring them with me, you know, to places that they wouldn't normally go. So it's a little bit of everything. It's bringing the music, the equipment, the musical equipment, but it's also bringing my artist friends to different venues. So there you go.
That's fantastic. You have a ton of passion for it.
Oh, hell
It's very appreciated. And it's exactly what fits in the RPM Fest, and it's exactly what fits into the music world.
Exactly.
What is your ideal guitar? If you were to go on stage you're going on stage the next day.
Yep.
What are you bringing up?
Dean ML. Absolutely a Dean ML. Everybody knows Dimebag Darrell from Pantera. God rest his soul.
Yeah.
The first time I picked up an ML, I was nervous about it because it's big. It's big. It's a little bulky. It's pointy, but not being too pointy. I expected it to be very head heavy. I expected it to just not sit very well. And then you put it on, and you hook it around your leg, and literally, it is the most comfortable guitar I have ever played in my entire life. Whether it's the V profile neck or the straight modern, let's call it modern C profile neck, doesn't matter. It is the most comfortable guitar that I have ever played in my entire life. Strats are nice, Les Pauls are nice. My first guitar was a Warlock. The Warlocks are nice. But with the ML, it's comfortable when you're standing, it's comfortable when you're sitting, it's comfortable when you're in your rock pose. Doesn't matter. It is a very, very comfortable guitar. It looks the part, it feels the part. And again, if you follow Pantera, then you know the man played it. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I have a question about guitars. We talked about your favorite guitar. What is not your favorite guitar? What is maybe not the worst you played, but the guitar that you took it and you're like, I'm not sure is it for me?
I can answer that. Some people are going to hate me for this, but the headless Steinberger guitars. I had one. It was a USA Steinberger, had the trans trem.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, "Wow, this is cool." Dream Theater, progressive. This is cool. But it just didn't feel right. There was no headstock on it. It didn't. You're playing and then you look over your neck real quick and you're like, "It doesn't look right." I lose my space because it just didn't feel right. And it had Duncans. It had Seymour Duncan pickups. The trans trem was cool, but it just didn't feel, and it was the full body version, not like the small small soapbox version. It was a nice guitar when I got it, but after about 6 months, I'm like, this is not me. This is not me. So I put it in, I put it back in the collection, let it sit there for a little while. Did I sell it? I think I sold it.
Yeah.
I can't even remember at this point. I've lost track of everything.
You rehomed another one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's the one that I just couldn't. I couldn't get into. I could not get into it at all.
That's understandable because first time I saw one, I was like, yeah, that's weird. And now I love headless guitar, but not a Steinberger. Steinberger is still weird to me. Speaking of headless, what do you think about the other headless guitar? Because nowadays it became very popular.
Oh yeah,
among we could say modern bands, we could say modern metal, and also even in the jazz fusion.
Oh my God, yeah.
They are very popular. What do you think?
The Strandbergs, that's the big name. Strandberg is the big name.
Kiesel too.
Kiesel's got the Vaders. Good. Yeah, my buddy Jay, God rest his soul, he was big into the Vaders. He was big into the Strandbergs. He got me into it too because again with the Strandbergs they have the V profile neck, but it's a strict V. There is no curve at all. It is a V profile neck.
It's V profile and also it changed a little bit where you go on the neck. So to be fair, I prefer Kiesel over.
Oh, I dig it.
I tried the Strandberg and I was like, it's so weird.
Oh no, I know.
It's so weird. My aunt was like, I don't feel good.
I
Mr.
hear you.
Stark, I don't feel good. So I
Yeah.
prefer the Keyzol. Keyzol is much my style of playing.
Dig it.
Like, I love the headless because, like, sometimes, well, I don't like my body doesn't like me, and with a guitar too long, the neck dive and all,
Dig it.
it's better to have something headless, even though it's weird.
I like the way Strandberg kind of came about. They basically took the shape, they took the ideas, and they put it out to the general public and said, here's our ideas. See what you can come up with. And that's why there was so many different versions of that body, of that ergonomical body, of that neck. So many different ideas came together, and then he's a smart man. He took all those ideas and made his own. You know, he shanked everybody else's ideas, who he gave freely, and then took them all and made his own guitars, and now is selling them for anywhere from $2,000 to $6,000. And he's making money.
And because of that,
Good
like
job.
a lot of people are inspired by them.
Yeah.
Like Tosin Abasi with a Abasi concept,
Yep.
Abasi design, I think. He got like a Strandberg type of shape,
Yep.
but with a head.
Dig it. Yeah.
He got a head, but he got the Strandberg type of shape, and they look so good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, I agree. I absolutely agree. Absolutely.
Awesome, Rob. Well, hey, we're going to let you get back to it. We appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
Dude, thanks for coming
and,
over.
You know, I hope you sell everything.
So do I.
Hope
Unless I have to bring home.
yeah, I hope RPM Fest continues to be good to you. And,
Always.
You know, I hope that everybody listening goes and finds Rockland music. Is there, you got any social media handles?
Yeah,
anywhere
I
that people
do.
can
It's
reach
very
out?
simple. Insta is rock.land.music. And then Facebook is Rockland Music. 3
Perfect.
words. So it's pretty simple, pretty easy. And again, I don't advertise. I don't sell online. I kind of like to think of myself as a hidden gem. If you find me, you're lucky.
Well, you know that you have to come to RPM Fest. That's definitely one place he's going to be.
Hell yeah.
Perfect.
Awesome, bro. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, guys, we're continuing our interviews with the bands over here at RPM Fest. And actually, we have the guys that kicked it off today. We have with us Maidenhead. Basically, the whole band.
Yes.
Oh, my
Here
gosh.
we are.
What a
All
treat.
assembled. Metal on metal.
You guys are the first band interview we got today.
Oh, nice.
So far, it's been vendors and a bunch of other folks. So super stoked to talk to you guys. We saw a little bit of your set. It was fucking sick.
Thank you.
What do you guys think of RPM Fest so far?
Oh, it's great. I mean, I've been coming for the last couple years anyway. Like, I'm here as a fan, and so just to play it, I'm fucking pumped. You know, it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
How long have you been coming?
The last, like, 3 years, maybe 4 years.
I'm up to 6. I played here a long time ago with a band called Sonic Pulse, and I've been a regular since I got to play it. It's awesome community. I love being out here in the woods. The riffs are loud. Life is good out here. I'm happy.
That's awesome. No, it's a lot of unity and community out here. I've always really enjoyed it. Me and Phil haven't really been coming here that long, but since we have been, it's been great. We're friends with the 4 Phantoms guys. We know Brian, so it was sort of like natural to kind of get everything together.
Nice.
How long have you guys been a band?
We've been a band for quite some time. I started Maidenhead back in like 2013, and then I pretty much just wrote the material, eventually met up with Andre, and we worked out all those songs to bring to a lineup. And then the last year and about a month or so, we've been playing out live, finally.
That's awesome. Did you find that the COVID year was tough for you?
Not really. We were still
We
working.
weren't really
and-
active
Yeah, we were
during
still
the
working
COVID
and
year.
trying
Yeah,
to record.
as far as being an active band, playing out and releasing material, we've only been together for 2 years. Right, the album wasn't done in 2013. We only just dropped that recently.
We started working on the record in 2022, and then it was released in 2023, and we've been playing shows since that release in July 2023.
So, as far as places you guys have been, where have you gone so far, and where do you want to go?
We started off making circles around the southern Massachusetts, Boston area.
Yeah.
Like, we did Sammy's Patio and Ralph's and some stuff in
Oh,
Providence.
so you guys have been to Ralph's.
Oh,
I used to
love
live in
Ralph's.
Worcester, so like all the high command guys and stuff, like I've been out there a lot. Morn,
Yep.
Blood Tithe, all those fun bands. Yeah.
Lately, we've been hitting New York pretty hard. Just did our first show there, and we've got a whole list of them coming up in the fall. So just trying to get out, spread the circle a little bit every show. We got Maine coming up too.
Yeah,
Maine,
we've
huh?
done Connecticut, and we got Maine
We
coming
also
up.
did New York State. So we did New York State, then New York City, and we've done Connecticut. Coming back to New York City 2 more times in the following couple months. Hopefully, would like to hit New Jersey soon. So that whole area.
All
Where
right.
we'd like to end up is like Legions of Metal or something. Let's go party in Chicago.
So we're associated with the Vox and Hops podcast. I don't know if you guys know it, but Matt McGackie of Cryptopsy, vocalist, yeah. He just did Saudi Arabia. No one ever says they want to go to Saudi Arabia.
I'm down. I'm
Yeah.
down.
I feel like we talked to him a little bit. The logistics, it was wild. The things were wild, and they played Asia like a bunch of times.
Yeah, it's fucking wild, man. Saudi Arabia, I think all bands should do it one day. One day of their life.
Well, when you guys are paying for the plane tickets, we're fucking about it. Sign us up immediately.
When we start our promotion company, we'll do that. Yeah.
Whispers on the promotion.
We'll evolve eventually.
Why not?
That's awesome. So, are you guys here all weekend?
Yes.
Yes.
Vance and I arrived late. We were on tour with Adamantis, so Friday night we played
That's
Providence,
right.
and then we only got here early this morning.
You know, Drew from Four Phantoms was telling me that he saw you guys up on stage, and you guys. So you went from doing like good death metal to like epic. So that was
We brought the
Lot of
swords in
talent.
the second set.
yes. Oh yeah, that's right. The 2 swords.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was our other band.
Yeah. How? Are there any other bands you guys are excited to see this weekend?
I'm a big fan of Tower.
Tower.
Yeah, huge fan of Tower.
Tower's sick. And honestly, these guys playing now, Iron Flame, fucking kick ass.
Yes.
Tour mates.
Yeah, they were our tour mates. We've seen them like 12 times in a row now.
Is there any bands?
Wait.
Oh.
Hey! gotta support the tour homies, even if we're not in direct eyesight. Love them.
Is there any bands that you guys would want to see play RPM Fest?
Final Siege from New York City and Electrocutioner from New York City. Those guys deserve it. And Solemn Vision.
And Perennial Quest.
Oh, they did it already.
With Jason? Yeah, with Jason Green? Yeah. I used to work with him.
Wait.
Well, he's buddies with all those guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the year that I showed up.
Yeah,
we saw them play.
I hopped up on stage with my ukulele and joined them for a song.
Oh yeah.
brought them up to 9 members, as if they don't have enough people on stage.
Yeah, we drank Malort with them at like 9 a.m.
Love-hate
awesome.
relationship with Perennial Quest.
All right, so talk a little bit about the album, guys.
Yeah, the original EP. So we put that out last year. We are working on a follow-up. Ballpark, hoping to get that done hopefully by the end of the year. One of the songs we played today was a brand new song from that upcoming album we'll be doing. But the original EP, that was just a collection of songs I had over that past decade or so. And I think we really refined the sound with that live, especially with these guys. It sounds fantastic, better than ever.
Fresh lineup, new ideas.
Absolutely.
The first album's good. It's chock full of riffs, but we're really looking to explore as songwriters. We've got a lot of different and more intricate and interesting stuff coming up.
You guys got a lot of good stage command. Bella, your voice, that crazy.
Thank you.
Absolutely crazy.
Magnificent. I love it. Like, I think what I love about you guys is like you have a mix of trash, death metal, and heavy. It's just so insane. I love it. Seriously, well done. It's well done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My favorite thing with Bella's voice is every sound check we ever do, she scares the shit out of half the people there, and that's
Scared the shit out of me. I was fucking sitting here. I'm looking around. And I heard her going off. I'm like, what the fuck was that?
I don't want to say something weird,
Had to
but
walk over.
honestly, someone that scream at me, I just have like a little boner.
Well, that's our little.
Hit you in a good spot.
Like in French, we say a semi-croquant.
All right. Well, we asked a couple people. Travis kind of gave us Travis over here for T.R.A.V Artistic Visions. He kind of gave us a pretty decent answer, but I guess we'll ask these guys.
Yeah.
Hot dog, is it a sandwich?
Technically, yeah.
Technically?
Yeah, I'll go with it. It's bread and meat. That's a fucking sandwich. Long sandwich, short sandwich. It's a sandwich.
He said it was like a vehicle.
I mean, it can be everything you want.
Because he's thinking
Bread
if you
is
think
the
about
vehicle
it, the
of
Oscar
the meat,
Mayer
though.
Weeder
Like, that's what
vehicle.
delivers it.
Oh, it was pretty good.
I would say I think definitely a sandwich. It's meat between two.
Shitty sandwich, but it's
Yeah,
a fucking
I
sandwich.
guess so. I guess so.
I've done subs before where it folds over like that in a way, so I think that's close enough.
Yeah, if a sub is a sandwich, then a hot dog is a sandwich.
You could say sub. Some say it's a taco. I don't think we need to get too crazy. Awesome, guys. So you guys got an active band camp?
Yeah. So that previous EP, and then whenever we do, hopefully at the end of the year, that new album, that'll be on there. For sure.
Awesome, fantastic. Thank you guys for taking the time to talk to us. You guys killed it. I hope you enjoy the rest of the weekend. Sell lots of merch.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.
We need that gas money, yo.
Awesome.
Thank you
Cheers
so
to
much.
Thrash Metal. Thanks for having us. We love chatting.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Hey guys, we're continuing our interviews over here at RPM Fest, and actually we have somebody who's not really a vendor, not really a band, but a fellow podcaster and author.
Ooh.
We have Ben here from Broken Lords. How you doing?
Hello, all. Salutations. It is I, Zoob the Mad, Creatures of the Night. Welcome to another edition where I am on guest starring on another person's podcast, and it's great to be here.
Nice.
It's super cool to have you. So he approached us, he saw our awesome sign, and he said, you know what, I got to talk to you guys. So he's actually being involved in the Kaiju Big Battle wrestling that's going on at 10 p.m. tonight.
Yep.
Do you know exactly what your role is going to be?
I believe I'm going to be an extra minion for the the true evil Dr. Cube.
Ooh, exciting. So Ben, tell us a little bit about your podcast.
Well, I am the editor and talent as well for my group called the Broken Lords Podcast. You can find us on all major platforms or thebrokenlords.com. We do horror, since I am a horror author, also dark fantasy. Also, this rain is quite lovely, and I hope that it's not going to mess up our microphones, but I digress.
Yeah.
So, that being said, we are an interactive tabletop role-playing experience where we take lesser-known games and we give them a platform.
Nice.
Whereas, everyone knows D&D, everyone knows Critical Role.
Yeah.
What about those independent, struggling tabletop games that are trying to break out into the mainstream consciousness? That is what we're here for. We're here to elevate them.
That is perfect. Yeah. We all need more tabletop games.
Actually,
honestly.
there's a game that I used to play. So we did get the tabletop version, but we played on Steam. There was a Steam version of the game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck. That's
Tabletop
gonna
Simulator?
That's going to bother the hell out of me. I don't know what the hell. I can't remember the name of the game. Maybe if I look on my Steam real quick, I might be able to find it. It's been a while since I played it, but no, I can't find it.
So were you using Tabletop Simulator?
No. It was an actual tabletop game. We were able to go to like a store and inquire about buying the actual game setup.
Oh.
But basically what it is that they took the game and they kind of like retrofitted it into a computer game. And so you were able to do turns and all that stuff. Play
Nice.
just exactly like how you would play the game. Just don't have the physical copy of it. But
What was the genre?
it was fantasy. It was similar to D&D, but it was more dumbed down as far as like you had just a wizard, just a dwarf, just they had all sorts of expansion packs. You had to get into the middle of the board in order to get to like a final kill spell in order to defeat everybody else.
Nice.
Oh, so it was PvP?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Oh man, that's gonna bother the hell out of me. I can't. I love playing it too. Fuck.
Damn.
Yeah. Damn.
I mean,
Crypt?
Oh fuck.
I love tabletop games. I feel my favorite are card games. Like little card games that are fast to play. I have a game called Trio. I don't know if you know it. It's very simple. The goal of the game is to make like you have number from 1 to 12, and you have to do 3 trios of 3 numbers.
Okay.
So, for example, you have to make, I don't know, a trio of 12, a trio of 10s, and a trio of 1, for example.
Okay.
You don't know what trio you want to do. You just, depending on the card that you have in hand, you can do a trio. And the thing is, how it works is like everyone have a deck. We look at our deck. I look at you and I'm like, what is your biggest card and what is your lowest card?
I see.
And like, if for example, I have 2 12s in my hand already, and your highest card is a 12, well, I say trio, and I get your card.
Oh, so if you suspect that I have the card that completes your hand.
Yeah, it's suspect is mostly like, what is your highest? You have to show it to me. You have to show it also to others.
Okay.
So like, if for example I have 11s, but you have a 12, but the other one have the 12s. Well, at his turn, it could be like, oh, you know what? What is your highest? 12, and he does a trio of 12s.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So it can be very like difficult in a way because like there's also a card called a 7. 7 is gold because if you get 3 7s, you win the game automatically. No need to do 3 trios, you win. Because the 7 is in the middle of 1 and 12.
You strike me as someone that might enjoy some Rishi Mahjong.
Oh.
Japanese style Mahjong?
Yeah, Mahjong, to be fair, I never played Mahjong. I saw the game, I was like, it looks like chess. And I'm not the biggest chess fan. Yeah. I like it a little bit, but I'm not the biggest chess fan.
It kind of reminds me more of a Japanese take on poker.
Oh.
There are like traditional hands that you would see, like kind of like a straight flush and blah blah blah. But there's also like yakus, so there's little hands, kind of like your trios.
Yeah.
Like you have 3 of a kind. That would be a trio.
Nice.
3, 4, 5, like a straight would be a trio. Would be I'm using your terminology. It would be a yaku.
Yeah.
And your goal is you want to complete the hand by making those little hands.
Yeah.
And then declaring Ron to go out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I found the game. It was Talisman.
Talisman.
Yes.
Okay.
I heard about it.
Yes. Oh, lots of fun.
I heard about
lots
it.
of fun.
Yeah.
So we played the digital version, but you can get the physical version. It's just hard to get. But they have all sorts of different expansions and things like that. They expand the board, do all sorts of crazy stuff. We played the hell out of it. Yeah, you have to get a talisman to get into the center of the board, and then you have to use the talisman to get at the very end to use the kill spell to get rid of everybody else.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That's pretty nice.
I spent a lot of time in that game.
That's really nice. Speaking of, he's blasting a fan at us, and it's very nice.
Yeah, that's
very humid out here.
Ben, what's your favorite tabletop game so far that you guys played?
Okay, so there have been a lot that we have played over the years, and I preface it by saying that there are many systems in which I forget the rules of. There's been that many games.
Yeah.
That being said, the ones that I find the most interesting and the ones that I like to support the most and promote the most are 10 Candles.
Okay.
Cyberpunk Red, which is I love me some Mike Pondsmith stuff. Mork Borg.
Ooh.
Yeah, you'll like that one if you like that weird dank like people shanking each other in the alley style play.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Mork Borg is super dark fantasy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna and this is just for the hosts. I'm a big into dark fantasy, as you can see. This is a Warhammer 40K tattoo.
Yes.
Oh, Warhammer 40K.
Yeah, my boys, the Salamanders, and I say that as pretext for Morkborg is as depressing as 40K's universe is.
Yeah.
Everything is blighted. The land has been scorched. You are adventurers not because you want to have adventures, but because you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way you can put bread on your table.
Wow.
And this world sucks.
Yeah, for sure.
Like a normal goblin counter in D&D is, small potatoes, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
In Morkborg, oh god, there's a goblin. Oh my god, what do we do?
Damn.
So yeah, that's a really fun game for those that are that kind of bent like I do.
Yeah.
Another 10 Candles, as I was alluding to.
Yeah,
I'm a horror author as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm very much into horror.
Mm-hmm.
There was a Grimace zombie walking right outside. That was a little bit of a segue. Sorry, folks.
He's a great guy. I love Grimace. I had a little hug and a little high five from him.
Nice. There you go.
Anyways, digression. Back from the digression. 10 Candles. There's a game where you get 10 candles. What a surprise, right?
Yep.
Never would have guessed.
No, it's 11 candles.
Yeah. So the premise is you die at the end. Get over it.
Oh.
So
All right.
the whole context is one day the sun just yeeted itself out of existence.
Yep.
Just it's forever dark now. Day is night and night is worse night. And eventually on X amount of days they arrive. And the cool thing is, you know how in D&D where the DM basically creates the monsters and the encounters?
Yep.
Yeah.
The players make the main villains.
Really?
Damn.
So it's played by 3x5 index cards, and every time there is an attribute that you need to assign, you write that attribute on the 3x5 index card, you stack them together, that's what your monsters are.
Really?
So for context, as the wackiness that you can get,
Yeah.
we had clockwork bat demons as the main antagonist for the latest game I ran. Yeah.
Wow.
So they were like automatons, but like they were big bat people.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and you would have never gotten that from like normal DM not collaborating. So the spirit is of collaboration. So everyone also writes a virtue and a vice.
Yeah.
So the virtue is like something that you can call upon in a dire situation. Like the one I use the most is I had an honorable alcoholic cop as one of the player characters.
Okay.
So he used his honorable trait in order to bargain his way out of a situation with a rival gang because they needed a MacGuffin in order to get to the next stage.
Yeah.
And he burned that card. You literally burn the index cards as you use them.
Wow.
Or rip them if you want to be less violent. Well, maybe not less violent, but less of a fire hazard, shall we say.
Burn.
Well, we got him. We got him hooked.
Talk a little bit about your books. You say you're an author. You're into horror.
Yep.
What brought you to writing books about horror? Was it the lack of, say, creativity? Did you just get sick of watching Stan Lee, or Stephen King?
Yeah.
Stan Lee, the comic guy.
My intentions are less magnanimous. I suffer from perpetual night terrors.
Ooh.
So we make lemonade out of lemons.
Gotcha.
So my latest, the one that came out the latest, Render from 2023, was an existential nightmare I had about hologram theory. Are you familiar with that?
I heard
Hologram
of that.
theory. I have heard of it.
What is that theory?
So Dr. Lawrence Krauss and a couple of his cohorts suggested that the world is, the universe as we know it, is actually a hologram projected on the backdrop that is space.
Oh.
Okay.
So his argument is black holes basically work as a holographic projector when it super compacts the materials inside.
Mm-hmm.
So why isn't that the rest of the universe? It would be the most energy efficient thing. And he goes on to say maybe we're some kind of computer simulation type of deal. That's because it's the universe is crunching data like a giant quantum computer.
Gotcha.
To grossly paraphrase a very intricate and masterfully written thesis.
Yeah.
That's the bare bones of it.
Gotcha.
And my thought was, after I listened to that, because I apparently have to internalize everything and then turn it into the worst thing I can possibly think of.
Yeah.
Woke up one night and I was sweating because I was like, oh God, what if my town was the beginning of the end? Like the universe was imploding in on itself.
Wow.
And there is, in my local town, a massive sinkhole formed as a sort of black hole. And thus it began from there.
Gotcha.
So
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
I like
wow.
those.
I like that.
I like that.
That's terrifying.
yes.
I'm sorry you suffer from those night terrors. But what a great way to take a bad thing, turn it into a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to do an album about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm always around.
You're a 40K fan.
I am.
So I like
Vulcan
to
is my Primarch.
So, Yes,
Who's your Primarch?
Lord Vulcan.
Oh,
Vulcan, yes.
He lives.
Yeah.
For those that know.
Yes. So, I'm reading the Horus Heresy right now, but one of the things I like to ask my 40K fans is, what do you think about the Tyranids? Can you stop them?
I love them as a cosmic horror that is beyond comprehension. I love how simple they are to understand, yet how fundamentally horrifying they are as just a biomass shredding machine that just cannibalizes worlds. There are Tyranids that are so horrifying. They're like, they make Galactus look like small potatoes.
Yeah.
Like the size of these world eaters, these devourers. I mean, world eaters are a Chaos Legion class. I shouldn't probably call them that. But the great thing about on the tabletop is that they are a choose your own swarm horror adventure. They are highly customizable. I'm actually starting to play them.
Yeah.
Funny that you mentioned that.
Yeah. Well, they're a very captivating faction in 40K because a lot of people believe that they're pretty much the end. The fact that they're in the universe is that rules it out. It's over.
Yeah, it's pretty much on borrowed time. I mean, that's the whole crux of the 40K universe. They're raging against the dying light.
Okay.
It will eventually die. The universe as we know it will end.
Yeah.
When will it end? Oh God, when will it end? So Tyranids are very strong.
Yeah.
They probably will end game.
Yeah.
That or like maybe Nurgle.
Yeah, Nurgle's. Do you think Nurgle cares that much though?
He doesn't.
Yeah.
He just wants to spread the love.
Yeah, exactly.
If
the love of plague.
Yeah, the love of
plague.
horrible, debilitating illnesses.
For me, one character that impressed me is Abaddon. Like this guy,
the spoiler.
He got the fucking Chaos God behind him. The Chaos God want to just like come to the dark side in a way, and he's just like, no, I just want your powers.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah. I'm also salty about Abaddon the spoiler because rest in peace, Cadia.
Yep.
Yeah.
Long may it reign in our hearts. So.
Yeah, that Black Crusade.
Yeah.
You know, what can I say?
13 times. And then he just threw a freaking ship into the planet. I mean, the most metal way for a planet to die. and like, possibly the most ridiculous way the Imperium could take an L, but like, man. Oh, man.
Well, right on the doorstep of the Eye of Terror, you have to imagine that eventually something like this was going to
That's
happen.
how cool they are. That's how cool Cadia was.
I know. They were sick.
Space Texas next to hell.
Yeah, they were so sick.
Damn.
Yeah.
Ben, it's been a pleasure to talk to you, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this has been awesome.
It's a pleasure, man.
Is there any socials, anything that these guys can look you up on, where the podcast is? You say it's on all platforms.
Yep. It's on all platforms, thebrokenlords.com. I also have my own website where you can purchase my first novel of many. I'm currently working on my second novel, Fogstalker.
Yep.
That is going to be, think of it as Red Dawn, but with Vikings.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
nice.
And the world
Vikings.
is very fucked up and dark. I take a lot of inspiration from Scandinavian horror. So if that wets your whistle, get ready. You're about to get really quenched.
Perfect.
That's awesome.
So yeah, xubthemed.com as well. You can find me on the Bird app at MadZoob, Z-O-O-B. They won't let me change it. I'm salty about that. And also, I write short stories on Medium, and you can find me on Silent Spark Press, where I have some of my anthologies. Anyways.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Well, you are still here, Travelers of the Void. Well, I hope you enjoyed this part 2 of the RPM Fest 2024, and there's still interviews coming, so check out the part 3 that will come next week. For the other travelers that just came on the train, well, just check out the first episode. The first episode of the Whispers from the Void RPM Fest 2024, blah, 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 blah. Check it out. There's a lot of guests, and it was fun to make. Anyway, Phil de Vitesse, out. Cheers.